What's going on, guys? My name is MrHurriicane, and I haven't talked about any NFL stories for a while, but you probably heard about one that just happened, and so I want to talk about it here. The Cleveland Browns have just traded running back Trent Richardson to the Indianapolis Colts for a first-round pick. And now the NFL, we don't usually see a lot of big trades, and especially mid-season. I remember last year, like the trade deadline, there were two trades. It was Mike Thomas to the Lions and Aqib Talib to the Patriots, and so for this to happen in week 3 is pretty big. The Colts have had some injuries. They've lost their running back Vic Ballard for the year, their tight end Dwayne Allen, and here comes MrHurriicane on Twitter, whom I assume was just trolling everybody and getting us excited for like trading for Toby Gerhart or something, and said that the Colts have made a big trade. And so I figured it'd be a running back or a tight end, and I wasn't sure who it would be. And Trent Richardson is it. So Trent is headed to Indianapolis after 1 year and 2 games with the Cleveland Browns. And in case you can't remember, Trent Richardson was just a number 3 overall draft pick in 2012. But the Browns didn't just invest that first round pick into him. The Vikings originally had that number 3 pick. And what I believe happened is that the Vikings told the Browns that they had an offer from a team like Tampa Bay that wanted to trade up and get Trent Richardson. And so instead, the Vikings were like, hey, you want to increase an offer and we'll swap with you? And that's what I believe happened. And so the Browns got Trent Richardson after giving the Vikings their 4th overall pick, a 4th round, 5th round, and 7th round picks. So that's 4 draft picks, including a top 5 invested into Trent Richardson. And after 18 games, the experiment is over. And there's new management, obviously. There's a new GM there, Michael Lombardi. And they've been clearing house on a lot of the draft picks from the previous regime. And in that 2012 draft, they had taken Brandon Weeden and Trent Richardson in that first round. And now within 2 years, both of those guys could be gone. I think a lot of people expect right now the Browns are going to go after a quarterback in the 2014 draft, which could be a pretty loaded draft class. And it's just kind of crazy to think that in 2 years, you draft a quarterback. He was 28 at the time, I believe. And then Trent Richardson, who was considered a blue-chip prospect in that draft. And now the Browns have 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft. If I look at draftbrowns.com, they're going to have 2 firsts, a 2nd, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, a 5th, 6th, and 7th. So it appears this upcoming draft is going to be a big rebuilding draft for this new front office in Cleveland and assembling a new nucleus of talent. And probably going to be getting a quarterback. And what I'm reading on Twitter is that they're having Willis McGahee come in for a physical, and if he passes, they're going to sign him to play against my favorite team this weekend, the Minnesota Vikings. So this has been a crazy week. I mean, the Vikings just lost the first 2 games, and they play the Browns this weekend, so I was reading about how Brian Hoyer's going to be starting, and they're benching Greg Little after a bunch of drops last week, and Trent Richardson just got traded. So if I watch the Browns week 2 game, that offense is going to be entirely different in just a week span of time. So I don't know what to really expect this weekend with the Browns if they have Willis McGahee and Brian Hoyer. It's going to be interesting. But Trent Richardson in Indianapolis, how do I think this fits in? I do like the trade from the idea of getting Trent Richardson. I mean, he's underperformed so far. I think that goes without saying. Last year, he ran for under 1,000 yards. I don't consider 1,000 to be good for a running back. It's only like 62.5 yards a game. But last year ran for 3.6 yards a carry. His longest run was 32 yards. And this year so far through 2 games, 31 carries, 105 yards, 3.4 yards a carry. His longest run, by the way, is only 32 yards as a pro with 298 touches. But I think this does help Indianapolis, especially with Vic Ballard going down. And they already have Andrew Luck, and so you can pencil in Richardson as a complement to the passing game. And so to me, the question is, how good is this Indianapolis run game going to be with the addition of Trent Richardson? I think anytime we see a first-round pick get traded, we have to open our eyes and look at the situation. And I thought it was a lot to give up for Trent, even though I think he has a lot of potential. He's still young. But maybe a change was necessary for him to reach his full potential, and this will be better off for him. Maybe the Browns will be better off as well. But Browns fans and Colts fans, let me know in the comment section what you think. Leave your feedback, and we'll see how this Cleveland offense looks against the Vikings this Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Let me know if you want more NFL videos in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Peace.